It's put up or shut up time in the NASCAR Heat 2 career mode. That is a Furniture Row Racing Toyota. And as we know, that is a championship caliber car. A car that can win the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series Championship. So today at Kentucky Speedway, we are going to try to earn a shot in that car for next season. Kentucky is a pretty tough track in the Cup Series. I'm not sure where this qualifying effort is going to put us. 25th. Well, it's better than my Xfinity qualifying. However, we didn't out-qualify Danica Patrick, so that's a shame. But we did out-qualify Ricky Stenhouse. Not sure what that says. Our teammate Truex is second. I believe we need to be in the top 10 to earn this hot seat offer. So we've got a ways to go, but it's going to be, you know, as these Cup races always are, they're long races as opposed to the Xfinity and truck races. So it's going to be up to us to be patient. Patience is a virtue in the Cup Series, and if we're patient, I know we can get up to the front. Let's do it.
This week, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series is at Kentucky Speedway for the Quaker State 400 presented by Advance Auto Parts. This track is nestled in college basketball country, but these fans also love their racing. Now last year, Brad Keselowski thought he ran out of fuel near the end of the race, but he had just enough left in the tank to hold off Carl Edwards. Will we see another fantastic finish here in the Bluegrass State? We're just moments away from the green flag.
So another great intro by PRN, and now we are about to go racing, and indeed, we are racing here at Kentucky Speedway. So a good start underneath A.J. Allmendinger already, in behind Eric Almirola. The Bacon car, the Smithfield car, everybody knows that one, everybody loves that car. In fact, we've got the 43 and the 6 just in front of us. Those are the other two hot seat cars we've raced in and earned so far. So that's pretty interesting, as we're just going to stay to the bottom here. Danica gets very loose on the top side of the track. I think we made a little bit of contact with Allmendinger there. We get a good run off of turn 4 to the inside of Allmendinger, drafting with Almirola. He's going to suck us right up into this pack here. And in fact, we're going to go around Almirola as well. Oh, that's a little bit loose into turn 1. A little bit of contact with Suarez. The car feels a little too loose. I think I may need to tighten it up on the first stop of the day, which will probably come before the end of the first stage, is if the rest of these Cup races have been anything to go off of. As we work around 3 and 4, just trying to start to get into a rhythm here. 13 laps on fuel, and 19 in the stage, so that tells you the situation as we got 17 to go in the stage. Oh, there's contact with, well, just all of RCR. Oh, no. I saved it. Paul Menard did not. And there's the yellow. Woo! That was a close one. Nobody is pitting. So naturally, we're going to come in. Game's lagging a little bit for whatever reason, it seems. We're going to tighten the car up to 47.1, and then boom. All right. So clearly I wasn't very patient. Or I guess I was patient. I just got loose on the bottom. And, you know, it's unfortunate. We are in with Paul Menard here and another RCR car, or an RCR-affiliated car, Ty Dillon. Let's see if the adjustments I made help the car in turn 1. It feels like they did, so I just went too loose with the car to start off. So we'll learn from that mistake and move on. Ooh, this... I don't want to go pinballing off of Ty Dillon. That would not be a good thing. We're 3 wide into turn 3. And I ran way too low there.
Keep it right there.
I was a little bit worried about coming up into Dillon. I was worried about that back end giving out. And we lose a bit of easy for me to say. I sound like a Porky Pig there. A little bit of time, but I think we're going to be able to make that up here, as we're going to be able to run a clean line here, get a nice run through 1 and 2. And in behind Paul Menard. So now, where can we go with it? Well, we're going to have a huge run. Lift off early, kind of take a midway entry into the corner, cut it down underneath Ty Dillon. And underneath both Dillon and Menard we go. So really nice run here. We're going to actually gain 4 positions before we reach the start-finish line. In behind Joey Gase. In fact, we got the 2 DK cars up here. Whoa, 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 whoa! BK problems.
Caution. Watch for debris.
Did I hit Gase? I don't know. That was very close. If I touched him, it was not a lot of contact. Boy, I'm sorry to BK Racing. I just bankrupted them by wrecking. If that was my mistake, it really was. I'm not sure if I hit him.
Green flag. Green flag.
Let me know in the comments, or I guess I'll watch it in the editing, see if I touched him. But boy, if I touched him, it was a very, very close. Very close touch.
Easy. Hold your line. Clear high.
And certainly, if he was that loose getting in, he may not have made the corner anyway, but boy, oh boy. So we are back to green, obviously, because we're halfway down the back straightaway, now halfway through 3 and 4. And suddenly, the car is coming alive here on this restart. The car feels really good. Oh, well, guess what? Car felt really good until I slammed it into the wall. And probably it's not going to be quite as good anymore, but oh well. That's what you get for running the high line, the Larson line. I guess that really was the Larson line.
Hold your line.
3 wide on the outside. Cart kind of moves up the track a little bit in behind Stenhouse. And Austin Dillon. Seems like I can't get away from the RCR cars.
Hold your line.
And in behind Stenhouse we go. Just going to try to get in behind Stenhouse here and go underneath both the Roush cars here. 3 wide down the main straightaway, well, the main curve, I guess you could call it, because that's the least straight straightaway ever at Kentucky. As we work around the outside of Michael McDowell, I almost called him Casey Kane, which would be right when they come out with the 2018 update, which is sure to hit before Daytona, as it usually does. Or at least they kind of established the precedent for that last year, or this year, almost last year, David, just a few more days to go in December. But yeah. Whoa, 3 wide here between the JGT, whatever. It's the dang-on Kroger cars, and we got in between them and past them, and now to the outside of Jamie McFlurry. We'll pass him, and now we finally get him behind Eric Almirola and get the focus on the Smithfield, try to get around him, just back off the gas a little bit. To the outside we go. And now suddenly the car is feeling very good right now. So we've got Larson in the lead. Not sure if we'll need to, well, we won't need to pit, but will the rest of the field need to pit in the next 5 laps? You would assume they would probably need to. And why they didn't pit under the 2 yellow flags we had earlier today, I will never know. But regardless, yeah, it looks like they're all starting to duck down underneath the, or down to the bottom of the track, which would imply to me that they are coming into the pits very soon. And no pit stops occurring this lap. So we'll keep racing. We're all the way up to 17th from 25th. Obviously, we started at the back at this on this restart, or the last restart. Restart prior to the last one. Does that make any sense? I don't think so. But we're working around the outside of Joey Logano. And a really good run as Suarez is going to work to the bottom. He's probably trying to show that he's coming into the pits this time around. In behind Ralph. We're going to try to pass Ralph around the outside, assuming he doesn't come into the pits. In fact, still nobody coming into the pits, so I don't know why Suarez was running so low on the track. Very weird. 3 to go, my fastest lap of the race. So we work our way into turn number 1. Once again, outside move on Kurt Busch and Ralph. And now we definitely have pit stops occurring. Oh, there's no doubt about it in my mind as I almost crashed off of Kurt Busch. Oh, and problems. That was a Rick Allen thing, but there is trouble in turn number 3. That was Jimmy Johnson and Matt Kenseth, but it's not going to matter. It's going to end the stage. What happened there, I'm almost guaranteeing you, there was a driver who moved down below the yellow line, went up into traffic, and that was not good. So we don't get the track position I could have gotten out of that, which is a bit unfortunate. But the car is handling really well right now, so we'll go with the 4 tires, the repairs, the fuel, and we will restart in the 14th position alongside of Ralph. Just in front of us, Kurt Busch. Here we go. Back to racing at Kentucky. And to the outside of Kurt we go. Already passing Ralph before we get to turn 1. 3 wide into turn 1. Nice little pack going on here. We're not going to make it 4 wide around Casey Kane. No, thank you, please. I don't want that. Work down the back straightaway side by side with Kurt Busch.
Clear
There's a little bit of contact there, but not too much. Now maybe going to the outside of Casey Kane. Not going to happen there. Oh, wow. Denny Hamlin on the extreme inside getting underneath Clint Boyer. So it's a 3-wide battle down here into turn number 1 once again. Just a little bit of a lift from me, and we are really flying right now. I'm telling you, this car is hooked up now. Wish I'd had this car in qualifying. Boy. Uh-oh. Wow, that brought the yellow out pretty quick. Interesting. Boom. Well, now here's the decision time. Yeah, we're going to pit. We are going to pit. We're going to go for 2 tires, repairs, fuel. I wish I hadn't bashed off a Casey Kane like that. That was very disappointing. But once again, we're kind of putting ourselves into position to win this stage, get out front, possibly put some guys to laps down, which would be nice. So we're back to racing to the inside of David Reagan. So our fuel is exactly 15 laps, so we will just make it to the end of the stage.
Hold the bottom. Stay right
And
there.
nobody else theoretically can make it at the moment. Of course, the question remains if there's a yellow or if there's a crash coming into the pits like we had in the last stage, what that's going to do. So again, we need to move up the field as best we can and as quickly as we can. And behind Ty Dillon, working to the inside. This car is so hooked up, I'm telling you. I've got a race-winning car if we can just get it to the front. And boy, am I trying right now. 188, just a little bit of a breather of the throttle. And working to the outside of Michael McDowell and a host of other drivers. And Joey Gase as well to the inside. They're really fanning out down the back straightaway. Not sure what the best course of action here is, so we'll take the high line as they go. It looked like they were 4 wide there for a second, but they all seem to get it all together again. Now we'll go to the outside of Chris Buescher. And McFlurry will move up, give us a little bit of a draft down and past Bain and Buescher. And Landon Castle was down there. I don't know where he was coming from, but somehow Landon Castle was also to the inside, way up top.
Stay high.
Man, we are just way. I guess we're from Colorado, so hey, shoot, we'll go mile high around the outside and out of the inside, and a little bit careful with underneath the 43 car. We managed to stay underneath him, no contact, and now in behind Ty Dillon and Ryan Newman. Again, these RCR cars, I keep running into them. Hopefully not literally this time. So we work to this mile high outside line. Oh, right next to the wall. We went from mile high to Larson in terms of the line. The mile high line isn't quite in the wall. The Larson line is in the wall. So we work to the outside of Suarez. Really drove it in deep there. That's going to kill our exit. Going to allow Suarez at least back by, and it's also going to allow Austin Dillon back to the inside. There's somebody who's got a huge lead right now. There's a big group of cars out front, and one guy just completely pulled away.
Hold your line.
As we work around the outside of Suarez, a little bit of contact. We'll try not to hit Danica this time, but I can't say that I'm not going to hit on her. It seems like some of the jokes I made may have affected their relationship, Ricky Stenhouse and Danica Patrick. So I apologize for stealing your girl, Stenhouse. It was bad of me. I should not have done that. Anyway, we worked in through the curved front straightaway and running this mile-high line around the outside of Clint Boyer.
Hold your line.
And it looks like we're going to have a good run on Denny Hamlin around the outside as well. Just lifting off the gas a little bit. Still running very high. Kyle Busch just not sure where he was going with that, but regardless, we're going to work to the inside. Just try not to spin on the apron, which we don't, and we'll clear Kyle Busch. Kyle, we cleared a Busch. How about that? We passed a Busch. We passed the Busch with the candy on his car. All right, anyway, in behind Joey Logano. A nice run here for us. We're just carving our way through this field. I forgot what it was like to have a 5-star car underneath me rather than a 3-star car. And now in behind Logano to the outside, trying to get a draft off of Elliott way out in front. We just broke into the 30s, 30.9, which I think is way faster than I qualified the car at. So we're running faster in the race than we were in qualifying. Not sure what kind of a statement that's making. But we go to the inside of Kevin Harvick, and I'm a little bit worried about that. A lot of Stuart Haas machinery in front of us. We're on the outside of us. Chase Elliott down to the inside. 3 wide off of turn 4. Everybody keeps it clean. And by everybody, I mean me. 7 to go in the stage. Our fuel should be good. Yes, 7 laps of fuel.
Bottom clear.
And from Mile High to Larson, we hit the wall, and that's going to allow the train of traffic behind us to get underneath. So Harvick goes back to the front, or in front of me, I should say. And it's Keselowski who's absolutely blitzing the field right now. He is way, way out front.
Stay high. Hold your line.
So it's going to be tough to get up to Keselowski without the stage caution. That is for certain sure. As we get a real good run down the back or the front stretch behind Kurt Busch and working to the outside of Matt Kenseth. Wow, that was weird. I think I made a little bit of contact with Kurt Busch, but somehow I shoved him forward without spinning him out. First time I've given a bump draft in this race without crashing somebody. Into turn 3, just lifting off the gas, trying to get in behind Jimmy the Juggernaut here on the throttle. And here comes some pit stops, and man, we avoided dodged a bullet there. Ralph takes the lead, so the crowd goes nuts. Oh boy, howdy, that was some tight racing right there. It's still tight. Wow. Wow, I don't know how I pulled that off. That should have been a wreck, but it wasn't. And now Ralph leads the race. Can we pass Ralph before he comes into the pits? Will they wreck coming into the pits? They're sliding up the track. Everybody got away with it. So Ralph will be coming in. We didn't quite clear him. Now it's Blaney behind us. So we lead from Blaney. 4 laps to go in the stage. They shouldn't be able to make it. We've just got enough fuel to make it to the end. Blaney running so low, he's getting loose. Dude, I know you're coming into the pits. You don't have to tell me about it. And we get a really good run off of turn 2. In fact, he may be out of fuel. Blaney falling way behind. Yeah, I think Blaney's out of fuel because he slowed way down in the back straightaway there. So Blaney ran it out of fuel. And we have some old tires and not a lot of gas in the tank. But hey, you know what? We are going to make up a ton of spots on the track. And in fact, I think we're going to end up lapping the field, which is going to be mucho, mucho bueno. Exactly what I need to do. Now we will have the lead, and at least one car will be able to get back on the lead lap after this caution. But hey, we'll get a stage victory, and that will be pretty sweet. Logano and Blaney are the 2 cars that have not been lapped yet, and I'm lapping Blaney right now and Logano. Low fuel alarm is on. 2 laps to get. Caution comes out. We'll win the stage. Okie dokie. That's interesting. It looks, I don't know what happened there, but regardless, we'll come into the pits, get some tires, some fuel, some repairs, and we should be out in the front. But I think virtually everybody got back on the lead lap. I think I only lapped a couple guys twice as we came around.
Almost ready.
So the game didn't want me to win by 2 laps, so fair enough. Matt DiBenedetto is starting alongside us on this restart. No, he's not. He's a lapper. I'm not sure how that works. But so for some reason, Matt DiBenedetto was on the front row there, despite being a lapped car. And he's slowed the field up massively, and that's allowed me to get away. So we should have one more stop in this stage, or the final stage of the race. The car feels a bit tight, which is interesting. So we got 14 laps of fuel remaining in this car, and the laps remaining are 26, so we'll pretty much have to fill the car up at the end of this fuel sequence. So it'll be a long stop. So taking as big of a lead as we possibly can is in our best interest. And I need to back the corner up a little bit too much. I'm driving it in too deep, and that was not a very good corner because I did not get a good exit. These corner exits, especially on these 1.5 mile tracks, seem to be so important because, of course, it's all about that momentum, carrying the speed onto the straightaways. The corners are just tight enough that you need to lift, but not tight enough that you need to really brake all that much. So that kind of creates the interesting dynamic that you kind of see these days in in NASCAR, where there's so much complaints about the Toyotas, the car I'm driving from Brad Keselowski, who was second, is that if you can find an aerodynamic advantage that can get you closer to flat out on these tracks than not flat out, you will be up at the front quite easily. So that's just interesting to see how that's all worked out. And it's funny, even back in like 2001, they were talking about how it was maybe a mistake to design all of these tracks, the new tracks that were built during NASCAR's boom, as 1.5 milers, rather than make them either A, super speedways, aka plate tracks, as we've got a yellow. So that's interesting. We're not going to be able to pit and make up any time, so everybody's going to stay out. No reason to come in for tires on this one. So we're going to be back to racing here in just a second. Should be able to pull away from Keselowski on this restart, but this time we don't have to. We don't have the advantage of having a lap car up front to kind of play a blocker for us. So we're going to have to hope that Matt Kenseth, who crashed earlier in this race, will be able to hold off Brad Keselowski for a little while, because Keselowski clearly has a great car and we managed to pull away. But anyway, you got to wonder during NASCAR's big boom that why they didn't build like plate tracks, which are clearly some of the most popular tracks in the sport, or the races in the sport. I mean, TV ratings alone tell you the story. Or short tracks. I do remember seeing something with Wally and Benny and Alan Bestwick where they all kind of were talking about, I think they were talking about Kentucky Speedway of all places. They were saying, well, I don't know why we didn't build a short track here. And Benny Parsons said, well, something about these tracks can't survive on just a NASCAR race, which many of them have been for the last 10 years, by the way. But Parsons said, they want to bring Indy cars and the IRL and stuff to these tracks to diversify their schedules. Well, now we're in a situation where, a lot of these tracks burn their bridges with the Indy cars, and Indy cars don't come here anymore. So why Indy cars can run short tracks. I mean, they ran Richmond, they ran Iowa now. So, that was kind of a non sequitur argument from Mr. Benny. But it's just kind of interesting to see the attitudes and how things have progressed in NASCAR now, where there's all these 1.5 mile tracks, and they're kind of part of the problem. And all of it stems back to, the early 2000s, the late 90s, when NASCAR was making all these decisions. What tracks to build, what types of tracks to build, which tracks to change, like Atlanta, which went from a Homestead-style 1.5 mile oval where it was, symmetrical with 2 straightaways, to what it is now with a Texas-style dogleg. Of course, both of those tracks, Texas and Atlanta, are owned by SMI. So is this track, I believe, Kentucky. So, they're all under the same umbrella, and they kind of took the McDonald's approach to things and just built everything. And they raised the ranking at Las Vegas as well, so they essentially turned Las Vegas into the same thing as Kentucky, which is the same thing kind of as Atlanta and Texas and all these places. It's all a mess. But anyway, we're leading this race by 1.5 seconds. We've got 5 laps remaining on the fuel. And I think we should be able, again, depending on when the cautions come out, if there is another caution, we should be good now. It's just about just coasting the car, keeping it on the gray stuff and not in the green stuff. As we cross the line, 14 to go. So we're now within the fuel window. We could, anytime now, we could pit and make it to the end. So that's good. But generally speaking, we want to be the last guy to make the last pit stop. At least in this terms of this game. Sometimes you want to be the first guy to make the last pit stop. Oh, it looks like there may be a crash back there. And there is. I saw smoke in the mirror. And so everybody being in the pit window will allow everybody to come into the pits. Not sure how this is going to go. We'll come in and we fall to 11th. Keselowski's car is destroyed. So Brad must have been the one in the wall. And so us taking 4 fuel and repairs, I guess, put us way at the back. But look at the state of Keselowski's car. Is that new damage? Did they patch the damage in this game?
Outside.
I just received a patch today for this game. I've never seen damage that looks quite that good.
Hold your line.
Keselowski's car looks fantastic, the damage on the back of that car. So I wonder if they did patch the damage or just Keselowski had a crash that made his car look super realistic. But look at that. That looks great.
Hold your line.
But anyway, we've got 9 laps to go. We've got to get to the front. We don't necessarily have to get to the front, but
Car there.
I'd like to win the race for Furniture Row. And look at this run on the outside. We absolutely dusted Keselowski there. Now to the outside of Chase
Still
Elliott.
there.
Oh, that contact with Ralph. It's a Hendrick Motorsports sandwich, and somehow I managed to not be the meat, or at least be dog food. Does that make any sense? I don't think so. In behind Matt Kenza. Big run down the main curve. 192 miles an hour. That's about as fast as I've gone into turn 1. Casey Kane trying to take the lead. We're going to give Kurt Busch a shot. Oh, no! No. He saved it. Oh, my gosh, he saved it. Well, I was like, hey, I'm going to push Kurt Busch to the lead. Instead, I ended up pushing Kurt Busch into almost a huge wreck. Somehow he saved it. I don't know how he saved it. Regardless, we've got 7 laps to go, and now we've got to try to chase down Casey Kane. Diving it down to the inside, almost on the yellow line. Really good run off of the corner, side by side with Kane. Down the back straightaway, again side by side, working our way off into turn number 3. Kane to the bottom, me to the top. It's a battle between these two cars. Nobody else is really in the shot here for victory. Again behind Kane, a nice run, 6 laps to go. Kane is really putting up a good fight here. Oh, but he's slow in the middle. He's slow in the middle. Are we going to get him? Side by side, down the back straightaway, and a really good run. And we will just clear him going into turn 3. I knew I had to make that move. I knew I had to pull in front of him, block his line. And now Kane will have the run behind me, but there's nowhere for him to go. Taking the flag with 5 laps to go. Kane looking behind, trying to get anywhere he can go. He's going to look to the inside. Can't get the job done. Mid-corner. We'll pull away. This is where we're better than Kane. Down the back straightaway. We should have a good exit speed. And this may be the race right here. Going into turn 3. If we can get through here good, put a gap on Kane, we should have this. Assuming there's not another yellow, which there certainly could be a possibility of. Kane trying to go to the apron. Can't get it done. 4 laps to go. He's got a really good run. Leaving the bottom open just a little bit. We need to block that line. Oh, no. Kane wrecks me. We're side... Well, I wrecked myself, but... No!
Caution is out.
Wow. Thank God we got a yellow for that one. Wow. Wowee. Kane baited me. I'll give him credit. He baited me into a mistake. Now we've got 12th position, 2 laps to make it up.
Green flag.
Can we make up for our mistake? To the outside of Ralph. 2 to go.
Stay high. Hold your line.
3 wide. Trying to hold it on the high side here around Kyle Busch. We're able to do it.
There.
Kyle not putting me in the wall, actually racing me real clean. Oh, as I slide the car into turn 3, I drove it in way too deep. We're going to lose positions on this lap.
Car there.
We're going to lose positions. We lost a ton of spots. We need this top 10.
Okay, last time around.
Last lap.
Stay right there.
Gained a few there.
Top is clear.
Working through down the back straightaway. My God, I think we're going to maybe lose this contract. A miracle here in turn 3.
Stay right there.
Oh no! I'm going to lose a 5-star Cup contract. Are you kidding me? There goes our teammate around. We're just going to miss out on it. I think we had to be top 7, and we didn't get it. Unbelievable. So 15th. We got a stage win, but I don't think that's going to give us a shot to have this car. Man, that sucks. We had this thing won twice. Kane baited us. I should have just given him the win. Should have raced him a little less hard, but those are the mistakes you make. Those are the mistakes you make. We're still 28th in the points with 3 wins, so whatever. Well, we'll have to live and learn from this one and just hope we get another 5-star contract. Let's head back to the garage and see what else there is to take a look at. So we didn't get that top 10 or top 7 finish. They didn't pay me anything, and we lose out on the contract. We'll just accept that because there's literally nothing else I can do. Gain some fans, but that's kind of not a very good prize. So Xfinity Racing next at New Hampshire. Hope to see you guys there. I don't know how well my car will be able to do, but we've got 5th place in the standings, so it's not a huge deal. So hope to see you at New Hampshire, and we'll move on from here.